As we begin to assemble the irrigation system for the food machine, we'll notice that there are several parts external to the actual panels of the food machine. These include two 5-gallon buckets, one black and one blue, and some other components that may be packed inside the buckets during shipment. We want to remove the components packed inside the buckets and place them on the bench. You may see the yellow ground fault interrupter, the water pump, the white timer, some hoses and connections, and other fittings that are used later in the assembly of the food machine. You can set them aside for now, and we'll address their installation one at a time. The first item we're going to install is the bucket fitting, which goes into the side of the black bucket. This bucket fitting is the entry point from which the water will return from the grow machine into the black bucket before it's pumped back to the top of the food machine panels. The bucket fitting has a couple parts to it. One is the fitting nut, which threads onto the bucket fitting itself, and a washer, which goes between the side of the bucket and the fitting nut. This will keep the water from leaking out the bottom of the bucket when we tighten down the fitting nut. To install it, unscrew the fitting nut and push the bucket fitting threads through the outside of the bucket, leaving the washer on the inside. We will then hand tighten the fitting nut back onto the threads. Only use hand tightening. Do not use a tool, as you might damage the threads or the side of the bucket. Hand tightening is good enough. The washer will provide a good secure seal. With the T-fitting installed, we can now connect the water return line. Simply press fits over the outside of the T-fitting. Again, no special tools or connectors are necessary. The other end of the water return line goes to the T-fitting at the base of the grow machine. The next component in the water irrigation system is the water pump. The water pump has suction cups that fasten it to the bottom of the black bucket. There is also an outlet port where we'll pump water back to the top of the food machine. We provide a lengthy electrical cord so the water pump can reach almost any outlet near the food machine. Place the water pump inside the black bucket and secure it to the floor of the bucket with the suction cups. The water pump will be submerged in water in the black bucket and pump it up to the top of the food machine. The water return line connects from the water pump to the top of the food machine. Connect the water return line to the inlet T port at the top of the water inlet channels. The other end of the water return line goes through the lid of the black bucket and connects to the top of the water pump on the port facing upwards from the water pump. We'll remove the water pump for a second from the black bucket to show you how it fits. Simply press fit it on just like all of the other connections in the water irrigation system. You can then return the lid to the top of the black bucket and press it down. It will secure the electrical cord to the outside of the bucket as it runs down the side of the bucket to the outlet when we eventually will plug it in. Do not plug it in yet at this point. The next part of the assembly procedure will begin to add water to the food machine.